This is breaking news. This is a big deal. And it's not video game related, but it's money related, which I think people enjoy. I usually enjoy money. I hope you guys do too, because money's pretty important. It's what makes the world go round. We got here it is, the Daily Wire breaking. The big, beautiful bill has officially passed in the House with, ready for this, 0 Democrat votes. And it just barely squeezed by 215 to 214. So that on its own is like, oh, that's pretty good. Wow. All right. That's cool. Do you know what the big beautiful bill is, guys? Does anyone happen to know what it is? Shout out to Old Man Grim for this one. Johnny Mega says Trump pulled the strings for the House to pass the largest tax cut in history today. If you earn between 30 and 80,000, your taxes will be cut by a whopping 15%. This was passed today, guys. This is a very big deal. If you're a server or a bartender, Alyssa, listen up. You can enjoy tax-free tips just in time. Overtime pay, no longer taxed. You should love this guy. Any server should be loving this guy. Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, if you're serving tables, you should love this guy. That's amazing. And it passed. So this happened. And then also, what was the other one? Every single Democrat just voted against the largest middle-class tax cut in history. Now, why would they do such a thing? Why would they all vote against what they always claim that they stand up for? It's curious. Let's listen to what the news has to say. That is low audio.
In 2017, with the original Tax Cut and Jobs Act passed, you and I were together. You were so helpful to that. And there were some hidden gems in there, like opportunity zones. I look at this bill that way again, not just tax cuts and tax credits. Those would be wonderful, but there's deregulation. There's school choice, something you've been a champion on. There's energy production. There is border security. So those hidden gems, I think, need to be elevated into the national consciousness. So talk a little bit about that, if you would, Sarah, and tell us where you think this goes in the Senate now.
Well, Kellyanne, it's a great day, a historic day for the American people. Thank God Almighty that we reelected President Donald J. Trump for 4 more years.
Well, hold on. The Democrats would have you think that that black people hate Trump. This is weird. It's almost like everything they say is a fabrication.
Inside the bill, we're talking about making it easier for small businesses to succeed by cutting out regulations and reducing their taxable income.
This is massive, by the way. It also increases the child credits. So if you did not have an abortion, or if you did not have 2 abortions, that means you're getting $500 for each child in addition to the $2,000. So now, if you did not have an abortion and you had your 2 kids, you would get $2,500 for each child, which is now $5,000 by not having an abortion instead of $0 for 2 kids. So that's how the math works if you don't have an abortion. It's amazing.
The fact that President Trump and
no wonder the Democrats didn't like this bill. Now it all makes sense.
House Republicans have stood up and simply said, illegal immigrants, you're no longer going to be able to get Medicaid. We're going to restore work requirements for Medicaid recipients. This means we're restoring purpose and destiny for the American people. We're also going to continue to work very hard to make sure that the single mother continues to have that 70% tax cut that was delivered in the 2017 bill. Over $6,000 on average went back to the American people because President Trump did his job then, and Senate Republicans, we will do our job now, from small businesses to American families to single mothers to school choice to reforms that will eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid. You're talking about a significant step into the best future ever, and
like, this is legit, guys. This is a huge, huge moment in American history right now. in putting money back into the American public's pockets. This is huge. Like, even if you don't like Trump, even if you think he's the most evil person in the world, this is making you more money, assuming you work. Oh, wait. Who are the people that hate Trump again?
Drill, baby, drill. Build the wall. Protect our military. Wow.
It's all in there. These aren't campaign slogans. These aren't rallying cries. This is actually now legislation that's going to a Republican majority in the Senate. So, Senator Scott, yes, they did erupt in cheers in the House today when Speaker Johnson announced that the bill had.
Again, Democrats unanimously voted against giving money back to the American people. All of them said no to this. And there is legitimately no argument to it, except for the government needs more money.
That big, beautiful bill had passed, but not everyone was happy. Not a single Democrat, not one, voted for this.
Crazy.
How can that be when we have 11 Democratic members of Congress sitting in districts that President Trump also won? Why can't we find a single Democrat, Senator Tim Scott, to say, you know what, I didn't vote for President Trump, but people have benefited from this Tax Cut and Jobs Act?
You know what's crazy, by the way, and I'm sure I'm not alone on this. I used to lean left. I used to be part of that. And then I saw how insane it was. And I'm like, who are these people? They've lost their fucking minds. And now you see the reality for what it is. I don't know, like, legitimately, I don't know how Democrats could ever regain power in this country ever again. And they keep spiraling. They need to get a grip. They've completely lost the plot.
In 2017 in my district, and I'm going to do the right thing for them. How has this become so rancorously partisan?
Kellyanne, you asked a very important question that the American people deserve an answer. And I got to just tell you, I don't understand how they spend more time talking about an MS-13 gang member in El Salvador than they do a single mother working perhaps 2 jobs. Why not cut her taxes and keep them there? Why not talk about tax on tips and why it's so important for us to help the blue-collar comeback? They're not interested in the blue-collar comeback. They're not interested in the single mother cutting her taxes by 70%, as President Trump has already done. They're more interested in illegal immigrants getting Medicaid. They're more interested in illegal immigrants, MS-13 members, coming back to our country. Let's put the American people first. That's why the America First agenda is on time, and we are delivering for the president, but more importantly, for the American people. Elections, Kellyanne, have consequences. Senators like John Ossoff in Georgia, we've got to get him out of office. Why?
This is why the Democrats were losing their mind with Trump, because they knew if they started going this way, they would lose all power, all control that they had. They had such a stranglehold on the American people. And now that's just gone. And they have no power here anymore. It's amazing.
Why? Because he would be voting to raise your taxes.
Yeah. Clearly, I think he's proud of it, in fact.
I mean, that's true. I should say this as well. Don't get too excited yet. The bill has to go through the Senate, which is true, which is very true. But this is a massive step forward. And based off the direction it's going, I'd be shocked if it gets knocked down. That would be devastating.
Single moms, like the ones that raised you and me, Senator, they should be cheering this bill. Senator, I want to focus, if I may, in our remaining time on school choice. You've been such a vocal and visible proponent, and this Educational Choice for Children Act, the ECCA, did pass.
The bill is controversial because it adds $3.8 billion to the debt while making tax cuts for the rich more permanent. Okay, potentially that's true. Potentially. I'm not going to argue that because I haven't looked at the nitty gritty of it. How much has the Doge saved so far? And what do they plan on cutting? Because also the other thing, adding to the debt is how much the government is spending. The government needs to stop spending so much money. So the debt is really the government's fault for frivolously throwing money at people who aren't qualified or not needed. So yes, sure, it adds money to the debt, but it's not adding to the debt. We're spending more than we're taking in. That needs to be fixed. But right now, it's giving money back to the people. Taxation is theft. It always will be. It always has been. So miss me with that. Oh, giving more money back to the people from taxes is adding to our debt. Fuck out of here with that. Stop throwing money at
immigrants getting Medicaid. They're more interested in illegal immigrants, MS-13 members.
Yeah, miss me with that. Oh, this adds to our national debt. It's like, why are we paying Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance for illegal immigrants? California is how many billion in debt right now for doing that for the past 10 years?
Coming back to our country, let's put the American people first. That's why the America First agenda is on time, and we are delivering for the president, but more importantly, for the American people.
Senator, I want to focus, if I may, in our remaining time on school choice. You've been such a vocal and visible proponent, and this Educational Choice for Children Act, the ECCA, did pass, I think, $5 billion funding in the House. Are people excited about that in the Senate?
Oh, they really are. Listen, the closest thing to magic in America is a good education, and embedded in this big, beautiful bill, school choice. $5 billion allowing more kids to experience freedom called a good education. I'm hoping that we're able to plus it up a little bit more and get it to $10 billion. President Trump is making the remarkable change for all of America starting now.
You know, the funniest part about Trump is I feel like everything he's doing is to make it better for everyone's everyday life. And the fact that people are like holding signs on street corners against him and Elon Musk, I'm like, do you not understand like what he's doing? Is it the same people that were getting free handouts from the Democrat Party for 10 plus years that are mad that that's going away because they have to actually work now? Is that what it is? That's the only thing I can think of.
Senator Tim Scott, you say it so well. I'm hoping that it'll pass the Senate, get to the president's desk, and we'll have you back on the South Lawn to applaud all the great goodies in there coming up.
This is going to be huge, guys. Like if this actually goes through, it's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. So I wanted to make sure I brought that up because I saw that passing today for, hold on, let me bring this up just to show it again real quick. Remember this. Everyone remember this when you go to vote. Vote however you'd like to vote, but remember this. 0 Democrat votes barely passed 215 to 214 for making everyone's life better, taking less taxes away from you, and giving you more money. Wow. Again, I see this kind of stuff and I'm just like, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. They've been stealing money from us for so long that people have just gotten so used to it. Devaluing your dollar and spending your money. And nobody has, it's almost like, let's put this in YouTube terms, with Ryan Roger Athay being deplatformed. The government is kind of like YouTube, where you can hope that it sees it your way, but for a very long time, it was bending you over and taking full advantage of you. So with a new administration in there, it's not doing that anymore, and it's a very good thing. But yeah, I'll leave that one there.